Okay, we good?
I still have
Well, that's
the
weird.
Jesus
Three
book.
out of all of you in here were in my class.
Oh, my word. Good morning, I'm Leah.
And I'm Sierra.
And this is TCNN. With the year coming to a close, there's a lot happening on campus.
This week's broadcast is filled with information on the parking situation, a new potential law, and a special segment on what goes on in broadcasts.
If you drive on campus, you might notice that the parking lot has been getting increasingly full. With more students getting their licenses, more spots are being filled. Students have creatively started making their own spots, but administration has just recently stated that you may only park in a marked spot. But if you are left without a spot, there are other places around campus that you are available to park in.
Parking is a big challenge here at Tri-City just because we have a limited amount of space. And as the year progresses and more students get their driver's license, we have more cars to park. The best places probably to park is out near the activity center, near the weight room. Everybody who parks on campus, staff or students, need to have their cars registered with the office.
Students are upset about these recent events, but while reminiscing on the horrors that happened in the gravel lot before, this new parking might be the best in the grand scheme of things.
Parking in the gravel lot is definitely not one of my favorite experiences. It's a bumpy ride. My Prius can't handle that trauma usually. But I've never had to park off campus. I usually just take up a staff parking spot, which is probably not my best choice. I've gotten the little pink slips, the friendly reminders many times, so.
There's not really a whole lot of places to park, and like sometimes it gets jammed, and there's sometimes there's some bad drivers, and they could scratch your car.
While administration searches for a solution to our parking problem, here are a few tips to make sure your parking is the best. 1, make sure you arrive early and park at a designated parking spot. Or 2, if you can't park in a parking spot, make sure you park in optional spaces like outside the back gate or on the street. But if you park in the street, remember to not park when there's a street sweeping day. And always remember to be safe, and I'll see you guys in the newsroom.
Thank you so much, Gresham, for the helpful tips, and hopefully in the future there'll be more parking opportunities on campus.
A lot of changes are happening as the class of 2018 is leaving. A new law has been in the process of being passed. Let's expand on the new law, AB 2943, and how it might affect us here.
A new law has arrived in California's capital that could potentially affect the way we do things here on campus. The name of the law is AB 2943, and passing it would make it unlawful to influence people on their sexual orientation.
The language in the bill says if you try to dissuade somebody from their sexual preference, so a kid comes to me and goes, I'm really struggling with these feelings, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, no, the Bible says, okay, that a guy and a girl and all that. Just by doing that, you could be liable to prosecute.
So basically, as a Christian, my personal belief is that homosexuality is not okay, but I also don't hate anyone that's gay or that has that belief system. I won't beat them over the head with the Bible or anything. It doesn't offend me. It really doesn't affect me at all. Personally, sometimes I feel like the government gets a little bit too involved in gay marriage and stuff like that, because people are going to be gay regardless of if you make it legal or not to be married.
I would say that law is kind of affecting one of our amendments, which is freedom of religion, and I think that we shouldn't force religions to not believe those, because religions have different beliefs, and I think Christians should be allowed to say gay marriage isn't okay.
Teachers may have to refrain about teaching how some things are wrong about sexuality. Many hope that the representatives change their mind on the issue. All we can do at this point is hope and pray. Now back to you in the newsroom.
With the law still in process of being enacted, many students vary in their opinions on the subject.
Our own seniors have pulled their senior prank. Here's Gretchen with Taylor and Jordan getting the scoop behind the scenes on this year's senior prank.
Thanks, Sierra. So Jordan, what was the senior prank?
Most of the seniors brought their pets to school, so we all had a bunch of dogs at the school, and we rented a big bounce house, so that was really cool. We bought a chicken and let it loose in the Palmer's classroom, so that was pretty funny. And we saran wrapped some of the toilets in cars.
All right, so Taylor, who is this in your arms, and also what did the seniors do to make this happen?
So this is Leilani, Cody's pug. And to make this happen, we had to go out and meet a random lady and buy a chicken. And then we went to the store, got some things that we weren't allowed to do. But we also had to be here at 6:30 in the morning to get the blow-up jumpy and just kind of camp out and hang out. So we're all a little tired, but yeah, super fun.
Wow, the seniors really did cause a stir on campus. Now back to the anchors.
With the very first year of broadcast coming to a close, there has been a lot of progress.
Let's take a look behind the scenes of our very own TCNN.
Commented on parking. She's
Did I?
parking.
Oh, you must have done it. Okay, you did it early. So I got Gretchen's.
He kind of confuses me a lot. Sometimes I don't really understand what's going on in the class, but it's fine. You know, it's fine.
It's pretty time consuming. There's always deadlines that usually we don't meet. I'm always having to carry the camera around, which is kind of a hassle.
You know, our team really has been one of the best I think I've ever seen. We're very professional. We value our relationships with each other, and I don't think I've ever seen someone act out in serious manners before.
Why are we so done? Calm down!
Gabby! We love each other just, you know, so much.
The announcement of a new... I get talked into doing the intro or outro because most people don't want to do it, but it's actually really frustrating because I can't remember lines easily.
Sorry, Mrs. Castro.
That's all we have for you today. Now back to the newsroom.
That's all for this year.
Thanks for watching TCNN.